Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So I'm just gonna go through my my weekly outlook video for the upcoming week. I've already gone through the pairs as usual and highlighted the ones I'm most interested in for the upcoming week. All right, so AUDCHF analysis is pretty much still the same as last week. We're just kind of waiting for this impulsive move in either direction off of this level around this area, this previous block here. The way that price closed off on Friday kind of signals, and on the daily time frame, it kind of signals that it's trying to push lower because we had a strong bearish close to close off the day. I don't know. It's just gonna have to be patient, wait to see what plays out. If it does impulsively break lower, then I'll just wait for that slow retracement back to the level, and then look for entries, right? So if I just look on the lower time frames, yeah, so you see price action is really messy at the level, so it's just tons of indecision at the level, just kind of chopping around. So just have to wait to see that clear impulsive move in either direction. For now, you know, it does look like you know, quite bearish still. We're not seeing that shift into uptrend structure, so you know, it's just a case of being patient to wait to see what happens if it does set up, right? So if I am to trade this long, I'll be waiting to see a nice impulsive break higher and a shift in structure back into uptrend structure. If it is to push lower, I'd like to see a nice impulsive clear break of the lows, and then look for that retest, and then look for continuation, right? So yeah, I mean, this you know what, I'll highlight this pair as red actually, because there's no super clear trading opportunities. It's really just a case of waiting to see what sets up. AUDJPY. Okay, so on this pair, so this, all right, so we had two scenarios set up on this one, right? So I was either looking for price to impulsively break higher, look for that retest with rejection and then continuation, or we're looking for that bearish close beneath, which we got on this candle, and then a retest, right? So it happened quite quickly. It wasn't as slow as I expected it to, but we had the bearish close out of the ascending kind of triangle, right? And you know what was previously support turned resistance here with that retest, and then we got that move lower, right? So now what I'll be waiting for on this pair is probably, if I just jump to the higher time frames, right? I'm more interested in short opportunities now because of how impulsive this move happened. So I just need to wait to see where price will base, right? So if wherever price has a pause, you know, and find some kind of support, then I'll just be looking for a retracement from wherever price base is at, right? So we already broke past quite a few structural levels. The next, so we broke past these lows. Well, we're currently sitting at these lows here. We broke past these lows. We also broke past these lows. But the next kind of area of previous resistance turn support, we had this kind of order block area here as well. So you know, price, I don't know, this momentum looks fairly strong, right? So we might just see price continue to push all the way lower to around this area, or it might just continue to push lower. I don't know, right? But it needs to base at some point. When it does find a base, when it finds a floor, then I'll kind of be looking for a pullback and then look for continuation. I'd be interested in finding continuations, and if it kind of pulls back from where it is now, then these previous lows here are of interest to me. If it continues to push lower, then you know we have these lows here, and then obviously we're the lows we're currently sitting at, right? So we have these lows here and these lows here. So you know, it's just a case of kind of waiting to see what price does and how it progresses, and then make trading decisions as price kind of progresses. If we kind of have a pullback from where price is now, then you know, maybe this level here is better, a nice trading level for me. If price continues to push lower, then you know, one of these two levels will be of interest to me. So you know, I'll just be paying attention to it, keep it on my list, and see how price progresses. AUDUSD. So this one recently broke out of that range we were paying attention to, right? We were looking at this range for quite a few weeks to see how price would progress. It finally found some momentum and started to break lower. So now it's just a case of waiting to see where price finds a floor and then looking for that retracement, preferably back to the base of the range, right? So back to the range lows with some rejection, and then probably looking for that continuation. We also have these lows here that price broke out of, right? So impulsively just pushed all the way past these lows as well. So I'll also probably pay attention to these lows if price continues to push lower. We also have already confirmation of lower highs here. We had this high here, got a lower high here, and now we also have we had that lower low, right? So previous low here, lower low. So lower highs, lower low. So just looking for that retracement back, and then looking for continuation. CADJPY. So for this, I'm just managing a position I'm currently holding. I'm paying attention to this level here. You know, I may, if price continues to push lower, I'll probably just take profits right here, these previous highs. Ordinarily, I would probably look for longs at this position as well, like at these previous highs. So if depending on what price does, if it gets to these previous highs, you know, I'd like to see a nice strong rejection and clear bullish indication before taking long opportunities. So you know, it really depends on how price gets to the level, right? Because this momentum is very, very strong. We broke structure as well, like we broke past the structural low just here. So yeah, I'll really have to just pay attention to what price does and how it approaches the level if it does, and you know, make trading decisions accordingly. But you know, if it does get to the level, what I will do from a technical analysis standpoint, right? If I am gonna get along on this pair from this level, what I'd like to see is a nice push into the level, right? So a nice push into the level, maybe even a dip beneath the level with a nice rejection wick, right, beneath the level, and then wait for price to get back into some uptrend structure, right? Higher highs on the lower time frames, and then look for that continuation, right? It may be a corrective continuation because of that impulse, right? I don't think you'd see a strong impulse like this and then you know, another strong impulse back up, right? So we might, if I do get long on this pair, it might be into a corrective structure, so I'll need to pay attention to that. So yeah, it'll really be just kind of paying attention to price to see what it does and how it develops. CHFJPY, so this one, so we have in the second of the two scenarios, right? So we're either looking for that break above, right, which this didn't happen, right? So we didn't have that break above. Instead, we had that impulse lower, right? So we had a strong impulse lower. So yeah, just a case of waiting for a retest now, right? So just gonna wait for that slow retracement back. I don't know if price is gonna find a floor here, but if it does, then you know, I'll be looking for that retracement back to the level. This is the previous structural level here, so I'll be waiting for a retest of that level with some rejection and look for continuation. Equally, you know, price may just continue to push lower, but you know, just looking at the price action right here, look how long price took to get from where it currently sits, right? So last time price was at this level, it took, you know, it took quite a long time to get to that high, right? And in 3 candles, it kind of wiped out all of that activity. So the momentum is quite clearly with the sellers, right? So, you know, I'm very wary of taking long opportunities. Even if we get a retest of this level, I'll be very, very wary of taking long opportunities there. So very similar to CADJPY, right? Or in fact, a few of the JPY pairs. They've just been, you know, had massive sell-offs this week. So it'll be a case of just trying to be patient, waiting to see what price does, how things develop, and then make trading decisions from there. But based on the momentum, my bias is starting to shift to short opportunities, right? Euro AUD, so missed the opportunity here. well, not missed the opportunity, but it never really set up, right? I was looking for a deeper retracement. It never got to my level, so it never got to the trading level, right? So I wanted to see price kind of push into these previous highs here, but it never really got that low. I mean, we did have the move higher. So now what I'll be waiting to see, I mean, this might be more of a lower time frame kind of setup, right? So we have these previous highs here that were broken. It wasn't broken too impulsively, but you know, it was broken nonetheless. So you know, if price does kind of pull back into this level here, this might be a nice quick trade to just probably complete the channel. It might very well continue to push higher and complete the channel, and if it does, then you know, all of this analysis is just null and void, right? So yeah, but if I do get a pullback kind of to around these levels before completion of the channel, then you know, I'll probably look for long opportunities at these, you know, at these previous highs just there. EURCAD, so I was looking to either see if price found momentum to break lower, right? Because we were stuck in this range here for quite a long time. So I was looking to see if price would find momentum to push lower and then come back, retest the base of the range, and then look for continuation, right? So that was trade setup number one, which obviously didn't happen. Trade setup number two is to look for price to push into these, you know, kind of form the highs of the range, right? And then look for rejection at the level, an entry reason, and then look for price to kind of push lower. That second scenario is currently setting up, but it's not setting up in a way that I would like, right? It kind of pushed with momentum back into the highs, and I don't like to see that, right? Because that would result in a strong bullish candle on the daily time frame, right? So we formed a strong bullish candle on the daily time frame. So I'm not sure, you know, I'd like to see some clear price action at these previous highs here before making trading decisions. You know, my analysis is still the same. I'm still seeing that flag formation, right? So we have that impulse. We're stuck in this kind of sideways range here, right? And then just looking for that continuation there, right? So you know, analysis is still the same, so I'm just kind of waiting to see how price sets up, but the price action that I'm seeing on the lower time frames isn't filling me with confidence. So I'll keep it on my list. It's marked as red. So I want to see how price develops at these previous highs and make trading decisions there, right? So if I see a nice bearish engulfing candle, maybe on the forward time frame, then you know, probably with like a morning star formation or something, then you know, I'll make trading decisions there and probably try a short at this level, at these previous highs. But yeah, so the end goal for this pair is just to kind of, I want to see price kind of reach these, you know, this point of origination here before this massive impulse, right? Slowly trying to get back there. So I just want to get involved to hopefully see that completion. EURCHF. So this one, I'm just managing a position on this pair. So it's not quite at my break-even point. It's got a little bit higher to push before I move my stops to break-even. But you know, initial targets are here at these previous highs. That's kind of going to be my second target, just there, and then just a higher high on the daily for final targets, right? So yeah, just managing a position on that one. EUROJPY. So very similar to the other JPY pairs I spoke through. Price is currently sitting at these previous highs, right? Just before we had that impulse higher. It's currently sitting at these previous highs, but as I mentioned on the other pairs, I don't like the momentum into the level, right? I don't like to trade against momentum. So I'll be paying attention to the level, obviously, to see what price does. If it gets some clear rejection at the level, like a nice clear rejection and a signal of intent, then I may take long opportunities here. Obviously, as I mentioned on the other pairs like CHFJPY, I'm wary that I may be buying into a correction, because you know, I can quite easily see price pushing up like I don't know, let's see something. Let's pull a fib, right? So from these highs here, So where price is now, right? Yeah, so there you go, right? So I could quite easily see price kind of pulling back to, like, you know, this kind of 50% 618 level, and then, you know, that could kind of be the point of like a lower high, right? And then price could kind of just continue pushing lower, so something like that, right? So we could see the chart probably develop in a pattern like this. So I'm very wary. If I do take a buy, I'll be buying into a possible correction, right? Yeah, it's gonna have to just be a case of seeing what price does at the level and then just making trading decisions from there, as with the other JPY pairs. All right, EURNZD. So on this pair, we recently broke past these highs, right? So I'm just waiting to see price probably retrace back to the broken highs, right? So a nice retracement back to these previous highs, some rejection at the level, and then looking for continuation, right? So yeah, so I'll be waiting on that this week. Simple setup there. So on a ton of these JPY, I'll just speak through GBPJPY, right? So again, just like all the other JPY pairs, we had a strong sell-off this week. Price is currently basing here at these previous highs. We had a rejection of the level as well. I don't know if we're going to see a push up from here. If we do, again, might be a corrective push up. Let me just pull a fib from so these highs here. So where price, the lows there, 50% level kind of lines up here with this area of consolidation. So yeah, we very well might just see price correctively kind of pull back, kind of slowly back to kind of the 50, and then have that push lower, right? I don't know, but I want to pay attention to these pairs because they're all kind of sitting at all the JPY pairs are sitting at previous levels of resistance, right? And this one's already kind of found support, so we'll see. I am interested in probably taking some long opportunities here, but I'd like to see a nice clear entry signal before getting involved, right? But yeah, might see price kind of pull back to these levels here, which if I do get an entry signal around here, kind of around this area here will be my TP, right? I'm not gonna look for a higher high on any of these pairs because I very well see it kind of just slowly retracing and then, you know, a sell continuation. But regardless, on all the JPY pairs, they've been stuck in like a ton of consolidation, right? So just been moving sideways here. GBP AUD, GBPCAD also been moving sideways for some time. GBPJPY has also kind of been moving sideways for some time. So I'm just gonna pay attention to these pairs, just kind of scan them throughout the week to see if we have any impulsive moves in either direction, right? Break out of the consolidation, and then I'll look for trading opportunities if we have any impulsive moves. So yeah, I'll just be scanning these throughout the week to see if anything does set up. At least these three, right? GBP AUD, GBPCAD, and GBPJPY. So I'll probably just mark these in purple. All right, just so I can remind myself to just kind of scan them. So NZDCAD is currently sitting at these previous lows here. Last week I was looking for an impulsive move lower. That didn't happen. We did try to push lower, but it formed rejection, right? So just looking at this pair again, it's kind of correctively kind of slowly pushed into these lows, right? And it's forming a base. So, you know, we very well might see a reversal from this level. I'm not gonna trade any reversals here. If we do see an impulsive break higher, so if we do see price from here kind of break structure, so break past these highs, retest with rejection, then, you know, I might look for that kind of reversal from there, right? But it's only gonna be upon a nice strong impulsive break higher, a daily close higher, retracement back, and then look for that continuation, right? Equally, obviously, it might just push lower, but I don't like the price action into the level. It's just looking very, very slow and corrective. So yeah, I have it marked as red because there's nothing super clear for me. I'll just pay attention to it this week to see if we get any kind of impulsive moves in any direction. If it's an impulsive move lower, I'd like to see an impulsive, the impulsive move happen, daily close beneath, slow retracement back to the highs. So, push lower, daily close, slow retracement back, and then look for continuation. Right, so that's if it does impulsively break lower. Equally, if it breaks higher, just want to see that shift in structure before getting long. So NZDJPY, right, so we had that impulsive move lower, just like all the other JPY pairs, broke past these previous lows. So from here, I'm just looking for that retracement back, right, retracement back to the previous broken lows, find some rejection at the level, and then look for continuation. So yeah, so that's what I'm looking for there. USDCHF. So we had an impulsive move higher on this pair, right? And we broke past these previous highs. So just going to be waiting for a slow retracement back now, right? So a retracement back to the broken highs with rejection, and then looking for continuation. All right. USDJPY. So on this pair, so I took a trade on Friday, right? So I took an entry here on Friday, but because price was pretty much at the entry at the end of the day, I forgot, as part of my rules, I need to just close the trade off, right? Because if a trade is in drawdown or pretty much around break even at the close of the trading week, I need to just close the trade off, right? So the trade is still valid, so I'm just waiting to see how it opens at, on market open in a couple hours, right? So if it opens pretty much where it is now, I may consider re-entry once spreads calm down and all of that stuff. Obviously, if it gaps in either direction, if it gaps higher, then just ignore the trade. If it gaps lower, then it's probably gonna invalidate the trade anyway. So but the analysis is pretty simple, right? So we have a very steep trend line here. So it's the third touch of this very steep trend line. We had an impulsive break higher, breaking past these previous highs, which is the last structural highs. Price slowly retraced back to the broken highs, 618 level with rejection. I think the entry reason came on the 1 hour time frame. And yeah, I just took the trade, right? The reason why I put my stops way down here, which is a bit bigger than I'd normally go for, at least on a trade like this, is because I was seeing quite a few, the possibility of manipulation at the level. So I just wanted to be really safe. But if I am going to re-enter, I may put my stops just past this wick here, right? So somewhere like around there, right? So probably cut the stop loss just in about half, pretty much almost, right? And just increase that risk to reward, because I think all the manipulation has kind of already happened, right? So yeah, for initial targets for me would be around these previous highs here, and just targeting a new higher high on the daily, right? Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I think there's gonna be some pretty good trading opportunities, especially on the JPY pairs, and a bunch of these pairs that are in consolidation. I think we'll probably see some impulsive moves happening after all that kind of accumulation. So it's just gonna be a case of being a little bit patient to wait for things to set up, and then just taking the super clear opportunities. The JPY pairs I think are gonna present some good opportunities. It's just a case of it actually setting up in a pretty decent manner, right? I just don't want to take buying opportunities for buying opportunities sake, right? I want to get a nice clear entry reasons, nice shift into some clear structure, and then take high quality trade setups, right? So yeah, anyway, if you made it this far, as usual, thank you for watching. If you like what you see, or if you gained any value from the video, please feel free to share the videos with others. And if you're not subscribed, feel free to subscribe. All right, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.